been a few days. There hasn't been a single big arrest yet. The files have been out. Where's
Shout out my son, Life,
what?
man.
Epstein wasn't Muslim.
Son, Life, man.
Yeah. These are the type of people we're dealing with today. I gotta rent to this. Okay, so recently, Muslims have, for some reason, very vocal about the whole Epstein thing. It's almost as if they forgot what Muhammad did. So let's take an IQ test. Epstein dealt with 14-year-olds equals PDF. Muhammad dealt with a 9-year-old. Muslims. Fill in the blanks. And now, before we get into the clips and some of these crazy X posts, this is the dilemma that they're in. If you're gonna talk down on Epstein, you're gonna have
talk
to address
about Muhammad.
And just pay attention to the amount of cope that we're gonna go over in this video. Welcome to Islam's Epstein dilemma.
Go jump on the treadmill.
I'm just having him on my panel so people can say what these people act like. That's all. Go,
I don't
go,
care.
please.
You insult my prophet. And you insult my prophet. You insult my prophet.
You insult my prophet. You insult my prophet. You insult my prophet. What a fucking idiot.
You are executed. You get this when you execute the prophet. And I don't take that. I don't apologize for that. You're disgracing the honor of our prophet.
Man, fuck Allah.
Too many
Fuck
people that are
Muhammad.
getting comfortable with saying the wrong
Jesus Christ, that's all we know, me boy.
Everyone who tries to slander the
Father,
Prophet
Son, Holy Spirit.
must know that in the presence of a Muslim, you cannot say this because you risk getting your tongue ripped out of your mouth. That's what the enemies of your beliefs need to know. That's why you need to be training, you need to be strong. That's why we need unity amongst Muslims, because when there's no unity, that's when they get their confidence to speak negatively in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
No, you're
never
not.
allow this to happen. It's the man who's going to intercede for us on the day of resurrection, the man who cried for us, who used to pray for us. We allow these kafir and stinking kafirs to speak negatively upon him.
Nigga, suck this kafir dick, nigga.
To
What
utter
you talking
disgusting
about?
things about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Suck my kafir dick,
If you
nigga.
speak upon the messenger,
You
we're ready
pussy.
to ride out immediately.
So now that we got some of the foolishness out of the way, you can actually see the problem with Islam. We aren't the ones that say Muhammad slept with a 9-year-old and married her at 6. It is your religious belief system, especially if you're Sunni. All you got to do is go to Bukhari and you can literally see this man marrying a 6-year-old and having intercourse with her at the age of 9. Now, if you want to say we're wrong for saying that that's disgusting and saying that
that's
he's
your book.
disgusting for doing that,
Your book
something
is just fucking
off
disgusting.
up top and you're just mad because we actually are able to say that, and this is something that you aren't able to push back on. That's the problem. That's why they get angry, because this is a source that they have to defend. And when you have to defend this and you're not able to say that's wrong, unless you're talking about Epstein for some reason, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna get angry like these guys here.
6, 6, 6. 9. Saeed Al-Bukhari, 5134. Why do you condemn Jeffrey Epstein for sleeping with underage girls, but you don't want to condemn Muhammad for sleeping with underage girls?
So the reason why, you asked a great question. Why I condemn Epstein, right? For sleeping with the little kids and not the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? Okay, Epstein slept with children that were minors. They were not in the age of puberty. And in 2026, if you sleep with any age, and first of all, that's number one. Shut up! I'm answering the question.
How can a 6-year-old?
I'm answering the question.
6130.
Let me answer the question. Ya ayyuha al-ahmar.
Can a 6-year-old reach puberty?
1400 years ago, if you do your research, sir, first of all, he married her at 9 years old.
That's a lie. Once again, these fuckers like to lie. But studies show that puberty became younger and younger as the years gone by. So that means back then it took longer for a woman to hit puberty. So this fucking idiot quite literally got science behind his telling him he's wrong. And he got the law telling him he's wrong, but he still fucking wants to take the side of Muslims or the side of Islam. There's no saving these people, bro. We just need to ban this shit as a whole. I ain't gonna lie.
old. Get it right.
No, he didn't.
He married her at 9 years old.
Muslims. Saeed al-Bukhari married her at 6, consummated at
Asked
9.
for her hand. That's you said it. Consummated at what? 9.
9.
Okay.
Married at 6.
So he did not sleep with her until 9 years old. Why
But he
is that?
married her at
Okay,
6.
but why? Can I finish the
He
point?
married her at 6,
No.
not 9.
He's
Okay,
acting like
consummated
9
at 9
is
years old.
But married
The
her at
marriage
6.
was
adult.
consummated at 9
Married
years
at
old,
6.
meaning he did not sleep with her until she was 9. You know
But he
why?
married her at
Because she
6.
reached the age of puberty. She reached the age of puberty.
Why is a 54-year-old marrying a 6-year-old? Answer me.
Because it was normal back then. Because she was at the age of puberty.
It's
Is
either-
that what you do in your free time?
You said you are very expert about
No. You suck. Come suck. How about that? Yes.
That's what.
This is the religion.
What he
of-
said?
Back then, because she was at the age of puberty.
It's
Is
either-
that what you do in your free time?
You said you are very
It's look like you're an expert at this.
You suck. Come suck. How about that? Yes.
That's what.
This is the religion of peace.
This is the religion of defense. I'm defending my religion.
Yeah, I mean, where do we even start? First, he's literally contradicting himself because he's saying that Epstein did something wrong simply because Epstein had dealings with these children at a very young age, prepubescent. Well, that's actually not
Wrong.
true because according to
16.
the actual documents, some say his youngest victim was 13 and
Oh, I thought it was
have
16.
a document that says his youngest victim was 14, in which we would know that that 14-year-old would have hit her puberty. Now, that person would still be considered an adolescent, a young child, which would still place him in the pocket of being a PDF.
Pedophile.
And I am also prompted to say, if this man was told that information, he would still say Epstein is a
Yep.
PDF, even though he dealt with a 14-year-old pubescent girl, and Muhammad is not, even though he dealt with a 9-year-old pubescent girl. It's the same standard, it's just Muhammad's girl that he dealt with is way younger. Welcome to Islam's Epstein dilemma.
Jeffrey Epstein was not Muslim. The biggest recorded grooming gang in modern history, a blackmail operation that was directly connected to Mossad, was not Muslim. But suddenly, everyone's afraid about Muslim gangs. All the attention is how Muslims can't exist in the West. Out of nowhere, every single base conservative right commentator is talking about how it's not compatible for people that believe in God to live in the West for some reason.
A person
These people are so
who is a
stupid.
Muslim.
Especially Sneeko.
who
Sneeko's
fears Allah,
retarded, bro.
We'll not talk about Epstein. Wait.
Fox! You fucking retard.
Yeah, respectfully, that's just, come on, bro. What?
Checking on her son, you already know the vibe.
Gangs. All the attention is how Muslims can't exist in the West. Out of nowhere, every single base conservative right commentator is talking about how it's not compatible for people that believe in God to live in the West for some reason.
A person who is a Muslim.
Hold on, let me see what
Live
that
in the
shit
West
said.
for some reason.
That the prophet married her when she was 6 years old, and he consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old, and then she remained with him for 9 years. This is Sahih. Sahih. Look at the top right. It says Sahih. That means it is authentic. This is authentic in the what they call this shit? Hadiths. That motherfucker's sick, bro. And then how the hell are they gonna fucking talk about Epstein when their prophet is doing much worse? That's crazy to me, bro. This is crazy to me, bro.
A person who is a Muslim who fears Allah will not talk about Epstein. Wait.
Yeah, respectfully, that's just, come on, bro. What? This is Sheikh Ferris, right? We did a stream where he said boycotting is wrong. Mamburo Rosso. No, we should definitely talk about this. It's extremely important. Cannot disagree more.
Well, Sneeko, if you want to talk about it, then you're going to have to realize that other things are going to come about. We're going to have to see if you are consistent in your thought process. But according to the conversation that you had with Nick, it seems like you actually don't want to be consistent.
Your religion is literally about harems and, you know, you want to talk about Aisha? You want to talk about the prophet's wife? Seriously? Your own people will say she was 9 years old.
It's not a reliable hadith. And the separation
Saki.
is true. If Aisha was younger than 18, the major difference is that she's one of the most respected people in Islam. Is that she's important to write down, I think, the majority of hadith. She was a respected woman in Mecca, and none of Prophet Muhammad,
dude is retarded.
none of his detractors ever brought that up as something to hold against him because they knew how respected she was. So one, it's not reliable. You can't verify the age based on the Quran. You don't even have to believe that to be Muslim. Second off, if that was really an issue,
That's a lie. The reason why nobody brought it up and nobody made it a big deal is because Muhammad claimed to be the prophet and was told to him in a dream that he could sleep with Aisha even though she was a little girl. So to not defy the prophet and not get killed because he quite literally said, who do not believe this religion, cut them in their necks or whatever the fuck. I'm not saying it word for word, but that's just basically what the fuck they believe in, right? So how you expect a little girl, well, she ain't even little anymore, but still, how do you expect her to rebel against her fucking regime? Of course she's gonna fucking pretend like it wasn't a big deal, and of course people ain't gonna fucking kill her or hurt her because Muhammad made it that way, bro. He quite literally made it so that it's like a cult. Nobody could speak against the prophet. That's crazy. What the fuck?
at the time, people would have brought it up.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is your brain on Islam. Sahih Bukhari is considered to be some of the, if not the most authentic hadiths within Sunni Islam. And then also pay attention to what he said. He said that she's a well-respected hadith narrator. Well, sir, she is the one who narrated this hadith, but you don't want to respect what she says about how old she was when she was dealing with Muhammad. But then look at what he's doing.
Well, she could have been respected. I take that back. She could have been respected, but the whole point is, do you really think the regime that was in charge at that time was gonna fucking go against Muhammad's words and fucking and say he was wrong? They believe he brought the fucking book to them. They believe he brought the last revelations. Why would they fucking go? Come on, bro. You guys is ridiculous.
He's saying that it's not reliable, but also defending it at the same time. So what position are you holding? Because if you hold the position that she was 9 and it was okay, well then, sir, you need to be quiet about Epstein. Let somebody else deal with it, because you're saying bad guy over there when the bad guy is the one that you're following. And that guy did exactly what Epstein did.
Would you like the Prophet Muhammad to have marriage relations with your 9-year-old daughter? With your 9-year-old daughter?
Oh, yeah.
What's up? Wait, what? Hey!
Go CPS!
You see, bro? People think this shit is a game. People think this shit is a game. This is not a game, bro. We are quite literally allowing this shit to happen in the United States. We're allowing these people to fucking get brainwashed into thinking that that shit is normal. Are you fucking shitting me?
Okay. Lana, please. Sorry, say that again. Lana.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like your 9-year-old daughter to have sexual relations with Muhammad?
Yes.
FBI, open up!
This is crazy, bro. Little ass girl, bro. How is that normal?
Listen, we know Muslims for God knows how long have been scapegoated, right? As the predators, as the pedophiles, as the ones that, you know, rape kids and, you know, we're all barbaric, and we've suffered that bigotry for centuries, I would say.
Bitch,
And when
since your
individuals would say
fucking
things like, oh,
bitch, since your fucking prophet, since your book, since the Quran been here, niggas been making fun of your prophet. You're fucking dumb as shit for following that.
oh, the Western civilization has due process and justice. Well, yes, but these systems, these institutions where due process and justice tends to be delivered is exempt for the elite.
Yeah, so I will agree with her on that note. So obviously a lot of people in the United States, we do see a high level of, I want to say, them being able to kind of get away with a lot of stuff where they should be in jail for. And that's because they have a lot of money. That is something that we need to fix in our society in the United States of America. But the system still does work though. Just because it's not perfect and everybody who needs to be there isn't there, doesn't mean that our system is flawed, because it does work. When you have a grown man dealing with a child, he is going to get what he deserves if caught and processed properly. Now, the thing that they have to realize is Muhammad would also be part of this process.
Exactly.
Muhammad is not exempt. So stop victimizing yourselves and stop acting like just because Muhammad did this, we think all Muslims do this. That is not the case. What we're saying is that if you have the nerve to talk down,
it plants the seed though. That's what I'm saying. It plants the seed. So of course not all Muslims is gonna fucking hear this and then go and think it's normal, because it's not. But there's gonna be low IQ Muslims, let's say, or really, really slow Muslims that they hear this shit and they think it's okay. You're planting seeds, brother. That's the problem with this religion. They're planting seeds where it doesn't need to be planted. Why are we even discussing marrying a 6-year-old? Especially like what of consummating, especially like what the fuck? That is insanity, bro. And they go into detail in these fucking sahids and shit, bro. Whatever the fuck these shits is called. Or hadiths. These people are, I don't know.
on someone else for doing this, then that means that you must throw Muhammad away and talk down on him just as much, because Muhammad's victim was 9 years old. Now, before we get to all the copium on X,
that is hilarious. So since Allah likes sneezing and dislikes yawning, so if someone sneezes and then praise Allah, then it is. That's crazy, bro. People are stupid.
Victim was 9 years old.
This. These people are retarded.
Now, before we get to all the
That's
copium
crazy,
on X, let's actually talk about this ex-Muslim who just realized Islam was false and he's now going to go get baptized.
Hey, good morning, everybody, man. Another morning, blessed Sunday morning. Waiting on a church van to pull up, about to go get baptized, man. I know I'm finna probably offend somebody with this, man, but the truth is the truth, right? I used to be a Muslim, I used to be Islam. And one thing I know for sure is the Islams and Christianity, they agree on a lot of stuff. Like the Torah. The Torah is the first 5 books of the New Testament, the law of Moses. So one thing that they can't deny is everything God did it for a reason. Even though we might not know what that reason is, even to today, a lot of reasons we know, but we know everything he did was for a reason, right? And I'm gonna be honest, if you study Islam before you study Christianity, you will become a Muslim, because Islam got a lot of truth to it, if I'm being honest. But the best way to tell a good lie is by telling a lot of small truths. Now, I say all that to say this. Knowing that God do everything for a reason, right? We know he do that, right? And Islam agrees Jesus did walk and he was able to perform the things he was able to do, right? He was born of a virgin and did miracles. But what was the reason, though? They don't know. Or they know, but they deny it. Like, how can you not say Jesus is the Son of God knowing he born of a virgin, knowing that he was able to do these miracles and stuff? Why would God allow him to do that if he's not even the most important prophet? You see what I'm saying? What was Jesus' reason? You know what I'm saying? If he wasn't who he said he was. So even as an Islam, even as a Muslim, even as a person that studied, I always had that question, like, knowing our God do everything for a reason, even though we might not see it right off, we know he don't just dry do things. Everything lead up to him, you know what I'm saying? So that's just something I want people to think about, man. God bless y'all, man. Love and peace, man.
I like what that brother said.
Love you,
He
brother,
said
yo.
the best way to tell a good lie is
May
to
peace
tell
be
a
with
lot
him,
of
bro. I
small
hope he
truths.
follows
And
Christ.
that is so you can blanket everything under what you are saying is true, which would make them not really want to address what you're saying that is false. And these are the best deceivers. They do this all of the time. So let's go ahead and check out
how it
some of
goes.
this cope on.
And only people who have an understanding of how the mind works and shit will pick up on that, bro. That's why homie, he's actually not a dumbass. He's not a dumbass. He went through it because that was his first religion, he said. He said anybody could fall for that shit if it's your first religion. But once you start listening to the word and you could hear the fucking, like, how it goes against the Bible, there's no questioning that this religion is just a manipulating religion, trying to make me believe something that is not true. How could you follow that? How could you follow that?
X, where these Muslims think that for some odd reason, they have the right to talk down on Epstein, but not have to address Islam and Muhammad. I mean, my goodness, if Epstein is bad, Islam is bad. Like I said, y'all, welcome to Islam's Epstein dilemma. Let's check them out. So that was the reason all of your top leader was abusing little girls, as stated in the Epstein files. Where did Islam allow to do bad things to children? Don't blame without any knowledge. Not Christianity, not Islam, and any other religions allow the bad things to anyone.
That's cap.
High-key Christians and Jews are the worst of creatures. Like, bro, look at the majority of the religion of the people in the Epstein list. Fact that nobody talks about. The Epstein file did not just uncover a criminal network, it uncovered the world's double standards. Names were exposed, power was revealed, and yet religion was conveniently ignored. If the same crimes had been committed by a Muslim, Islam would have been put on trial. But the Epstein file showed that when influence and money are involved, silence replaces outrage. Islam, however, is clear and uncompromising. Harming children is a major sin and protecting them is sacred. Think deeply how easily they include Islamic religion in everything. Apparently, he doesn't realize what Muhammad
Have you ever read the Quran?
Muhammad has been on trial is that you guys are just too cowardly to deal with. Thank God, alhamdulillah, Islam is not compatible with Epstein's civilization.
Get the
There's
fuck
a
out of
special
here.
place in hell
Well, you ain't
for all the
compatible here either, but
Pakistani
still.
ex-Muslims who are trying to link Jeffrey Epstein's heinous activities to Islam, even though he was born Jewish and worked for Mossad. Just because you have monetized the account doesn't mean you have to exploit abused children. It's almost if this person forgot that Muhammad did. LOL, UAE thugs wanted to defame Islam by falsely accusing the religion of being a source of violence. Epstein files exposed their true colors. One member of the ruling class was offering herself and her sisters to Israel's PDF Jeffrey Epstein. Well, if Jeffrey Epstein is a PDF, well then Muhammad is a PDF. As a Muslim, this photo breaks my heart into pieces. Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted predator, standing over the sacred kiswa of the Kaaba, laid out on the floor like a carpet next to Emirates billionaire Sultan bin Salam. How did fragments of our holy cloth get in the hands of Epstein? I wonder what he would say if Muhammad was standing next to this man and this holy cloth, seeing that they both dealt with children. Proud to announce I am not in the Epstein files, but you are, Elon and Mr. President. This is the blessing of Islam that you're always fighting against. If Epstein were Muslim, the whole world will be condemning Islam right now because he is a
What about
Everyone is
Muhammad?
silent. Sir, we are condemning Epstein and Muhammad. What are you talking about? They both did the same thing. It's astonishing that MBS, the Musrik, taking a picture with the known and infamous child trafficker, Epstein. Well, if he's a predator, then Muhammad's a predator. After seeing Epstein files, Imam gets refreshed. More biggest miracle and blessing being born Muslim is a blessing beyond measure. While the West is in deep moral decay, Islam continues to offer clarity, dignity, and purpose. Alhamdulillah. Well, sir, no, that's not true because he was actually put in jail. You guys wouldn't put Muhammad in jail at all.
Exactly.
And so if the West is at a moral decay, well, then Islam literally already starts at a moral decay because your prophet did this. Do you have comprehension issues? Maybe you've been hanging around with
comprehension.
Tommy
They can read your book
a bit too much. So let me help you for free. I said Islam is incompatible with the Epstein files. I never said Qataris were. Wait a minute. So if Muhammad is incompatible with the Epstein files, in which majority of it is about him dealing with underage girls, then that means if Muhammad dealt with the underage girl, then that means he is compatible with the Epstein files.
Exactly.
Sounds about right to me. Islam elevated daughters as blessings. The Epstein files expose how societies without moral accountability treated girl children. This stuff just gets worse. Zero Muslims in the Epstein files, but enemies of Islam would rather lie than face the truth. Sir, a Muslim doesn't have to be in the Epstein files for us to make a connection with a grown man dealing with a young girl. If an Epstein level crime happened under Islamic rule, well, it already did, bro.
Oh my God, they keep saying the same shit.
It already did. It wouldn't be whitewashed, delayed, or buried. It would be exposed and punished, not protected by elites. Islam condemns exploitation, Western power protected. Smear Islam all you want, its moral law stands intact. Wait a minute. So an Epstein level crime would be him dealing with young children. That's literally what a lot of this is about. Muhammad dealt with a young girl. She was 9. And you guys try to cover it up all the time. Stop lying. Wow, Islamophobia is so deep that we see a Jewish PDF right in front of our face and still make it about Islam. There were no Muslim men on the
Epstein
island.
was
It was
arrested.
White Christian and
What are you
Jewish
talking
men. Once again, if there was a Christian, if there was a Jew, if there was a Muslim, if there was a Hindu, if there was a Buddhist on that island doing disgusting things with children, they are all wrong, right? A grown man at the age of 50 something plus dealing with a 9-year-old, even if that 9-year-old hit puberty, is still wrong. Just like Epstein dealing with a 13 or a 14-year-old, even though that 13 or 14-year-old
wrong.
is still wrong. So we literally condemn those people. We don't condone it like you do for Muhammad. You say he's bad, but Muhammad's not bad for doing the exact same thing. Wake up. I gotta rent to this.
For real, bro. People need to wake the fuck up. That shit crazy. Like, how obviously we condemning the shit out of Epstein. Epstein was a piece of shit bastard. We don't have to recognize him or respect him in the United States or Western values. So why can't we just do the same for Islam? If their number one prophet is the same person as Epstein, basically. Fucking pedophile.